tale by tale, narrating the antecedents you've never for once been told. We trace the force of the rock behind every story, and that's the power of the rock. Rock City 101.9 FM. Four stories untold.
The time is 12 o'clock. Here is the midday news. First, the top stories. I'm also worried over failure of some Ogun officials to account for assets. DSS blames illicit arms in circulation on some elements in security agencies. Police IG deploys DIG, 3 AIGs and 26,000 policemen for Anambra poll. 3 soldiers killed as troops clear 13 Boko Haram camps in Sambisa forest. In foreign, deadly tremor kills 221, injured more than 5,660 in Iran and Iraq. Also, 33 passengers die in train crash in DR Congo. Good afternoon. I am Chienye Egwuonwu, bringing you the news in details shortly. Governor Ibikole Amoso of Ogun State has expressed concern over the assets of the state that could not be accounted for by some of its top officials of the state ministry, departments and agencies. Amoso expressed the concern while reacting to requests of some of the MDAs for project and monitoring vehicles during last week's meeting of the Treasury Board on the Ogun State 2018 budget in Abeokuta. The governor accuses some of the officials of failing to account for most of the tracks that were allotted to them for some special projects. For instance, he asked some of the officials at the meeting to account for the makeshift structures, computer sets, and vehicles allocated for the homeowners charter programs. The governor says that only 5 out of the 27 Toyota Hilux vans which were attached to his office could be accounted for, while the remaining 22 are still being tracked. Meanwhile, Governor Amoso has explained that part of the $350 million foreign loans which were approved for his administration by the National Assembly will be used for the proposed construction and rehabilitation of selected semi-urban and rural roads across the state. Amoso, who made this known while reacting to the estimated budget of the Ministry of Rural Development, says the project will be followed by various rural electrification projects. 11 PDP state governors have met overnight in Enugu, brainstorming on how to resolve the crisis over the party's national chairmanship slot ahead of the December 8 National Convention. The meeting was attended by all the 8 aspirants for the post, including former governors Rashid Ladoja and Benga Daniel and Chief Bode George. Others are Chiefs Raymond Dokpesi and Jimmy Agbaje, Professor Tunde Adeniro, Dr. Tawhid Adedoja and Chief Uche Seconders. Also in attendance at the meeting were former Governor Godswill Akpabio, Sule Lamido and Gabriel Saswam, as well as Senate Deputy President Ike Ekweremadu, former Senate President Adolphus Wabara, and Chief Tom Ikimi. Department of State Security Service (DSS) has blamed some elements in the Army, police, and other security agencies for the proliferation of illicit weapons threatening the country's security. The agency says other security agencies over a period had recruited people with criminal records, including former cultists and armed robbers who are still wearing uniforms. A director in the agency, Godwin Eteng, who made this known while appearing before the Customs and Excise and National Intelligence Committees of the House of Representatives, cites the case of weapons disappearing from the armory of the Nigerian Army without being burgled. The DSS senior officer also accused some states in the north, including Nasarawa, Benue, Taraba, and Plateau, of being the conduit for trafficking in small and light weapons used in conflicts in the region. Other major sources of illicit weapons, according to him, are herdsmen from Senegal, the Gambia, and Central African Republic, who were accused of bringing AK-47 rifles into Nigeria through illegal border routes. Senate says it will challenge the Federal High Court's reinstatement of the suspended Senator Ali Ndume. Counsel to the Senate Chief Mike Ozekome on Sunday says he'll file an appeal against the judgment of Justice Babatunde Kadri, who also orders the immediate payment of salaries and allowances of the suspended senator. The counsel, among other grounds, explains that the Federal High Court has no jurisdiction to entertain the application of Senator Ndume to challenge his suspension. Justice Kadri, in revoking the suspension, indicts the Senate of being reckless in the exercise of its powers. The Inspector General of Police, Ibrahim Idris, has ordered the deployment of Deputy Inspector General in charge of operations and 3 Assistant Inspector Generals of Police to coordinate security during the coming Saturday governorship poll in Anambra State. Also to be deployed to provide security during the polls are 26,000 policemen drafted from the Special Forces, Special Protection Unit, Anti-Bomb Squad, Counter-Terrorism Unit, the Marine Unit, and the Mobile Police Force. Force spokesman Jim Moshood, in a statement, also says that 3 surveillance helicopters, 10 gunboats, 15 armored personnel carriers, and 303 patrol vehicles will be deployed for the poll. Already, Force headquarters had cautioned groups seeking to disrupt the poll, including the indigenous people of Biafra, to steer clear of streets during and after the polls. Troops on clearance operation in the northeast region have destroyed 13 of the hideouts of the Boko Haram forces in the Sambisa forest in the past 1 week. The renewed clearance operations, carried out with support from Air Force jets, followed intelligence that Boko Haram is mobilizing fighters on the fringes of the forest in Borno State. 3 of the troops died and 6 others were injured in the operation, in which scores of Boko Haram fighters were killed. Deputy spokesman of Army 7th Division, Colonel Kingsley Samuel, lists some of the cleared Boko Haram's hideouts, which are located in Buk, Dusula, Kafa, Mafunto, Abulam, Talata, Ajigim, Mansum, and Abagajiri. The troops, according to Army spokesman, captured 2 gun trucks, a laptop, as well as bicycles and motorcycles from the fleeing Boko Haram fighters. You are still listening to the Midday News on Rock City 101.9 FM. Up next, we bring you foreign, business, and sports news. Please do stay with us. In foreign, a 7.3 magnitude earthquake has shaken the northern border region between Iran and Iraq, killing at least 221 people and injuring more than 5,660. One Iranian aid agency said 70,000 people needed shelter after the quake, one of the largest this year. At least 207 of those who died were in Iran's western Remandshah province, with 7 killed elsewhere in Iran. 7 more people died in Iraq, where people fled into the streets in the capital, Baghdad. Mosques in the city have been broadcasting prayers through loudspeakers. The Arab League is to hold an extraordinary meeting next Sunday at the request of Saudi Arabia to discuss violations committed by Iran in the region. Bahrain and the United Arab Emirates supported the Saudi request, which was also approved by Djibouti, the current chair of the Pan-Arab bloc. Tensions have been rising between Saudi Arabia and Iran, including over League members Qatar and Lebanon. Sunni Muslim powerhouse Saudi Arabia and Iran, the predominant Shiite power, are long-standing rivals based as much in geostrategic interests as religious differences. The Saudi request for an Arab League meeting was based on a missile the Sunni-ruled kingdom says its air defenses intercepted near Riyadh after being fired from Yemen on November 4. A Saudi-led coalition has been battling Shiite Houthi rebels in Yemen, and it has accused the Iran-backed rebels of firing the missile. The Arab League has 22 members, but Syria's membership was suspended at the end of 2011 following months of brutal repression over anti-government demonstrations and an opposition movement supported by Gulf monarchies. A train crash in the Democratic Republic of Congo has killed 33 people. UN radio station Okapi reports it happened in Buyowe, in the province Lualaba, in the south of the country. Radio Okapi said that the train caught fire after crashing into a ravine. According to reports, it was carrying flammable material. The train was running between Lubumbashi, the second largest city, and the town of Luena, 2,000 kilometers from the capital, Kinshasa. Next is the business news. The National Agency for Food and Drug Administration and Control, NAFDAC, has denied reports that 70% of drugs in the country are fake and described such information as false and misleading. NAFDAC spokesperson Abubakar Jimoh, reacting on the report, says the statement from the acclaimed expert was displeasing and false. Jimoh explained that the report was just a mere statement without referring it to a particular study or research work. An economist and financial services advisory leader of Project Blue PwC Nigeria, Mr. Andrew Nevin, in a keynote address at a conference by Pharmaceutical Society of Nigeria in Umuahia, recently said 70% of drugs in Nigeria are fake. Jimoh explained that the fight against counterfeit drugs had been heightened from 2001 to date and had led to drastic reduction in fake drugs in the market. Jimoh added that in 2014, the result of a study by NAFDAC in conjunction with United States of Pharmacopoeia (USP) showed that the country only had 3.6% of fake anti-malaria drugs in the market. He said that the result of a research work on fake drugs between his agency and USP, which was conducted in 2017, were being awaited. Finally, sports news. Argentina and Barcelona forward Lionel Messi will not be part of Argentina's squad that will face Nigeria's Super Eagles in Krasnodar on Tuesday. Messi skippered Argentina to a 1-0 win over Russia on Saturday and will instead return to Barcelona. The prolific forward single-handedly qualified Argentina for the World Cup, scoring twice against Ecuador in Quito. His absence was confirmed on Argentina's Twitter handle at Argentina on a Saturday evening. Nigeria Football Federation (NFF) have announced the appointment of Aqua United coach Abdul Maikaba as head coach of Nigeria national under-17 team, known as the Golden Eaglets. The former Wiki Tourist manager and 2017 ITO Cup champion was confirmed as the Golden Eaglets head coach on Sunday by the NFF Technical and Development Committee. Maikaba will be assisted by Niger Tornadoes coach Abubakar Bala as the first assistant coach. Abuja-based coach Oluwafunso Bumi Haruna will be his second assistant, while former Super Eagles goalkeeper Barua Abidin was named as the goalkeeper trainer. That was the midday news, and just before we go, the major stories once again. I'm also worried over failure of some Ogun officials to account for assets. DSS blamed illicit arms in circulation on some elements in security agencies. Police IG deployed DIG, 3 AIGs and 26,000 policemen for Anambra Pool. 3 soldiers killed as troops cleared 13 Boko Haram camps in Sambisa forest. In foreign, we also told you that a deadly tremor killed 221, injured more than 5,660 in Iran and Iraq. And 33 passengers died in train crash in DR Congo. For more stories and to listen to us live, please log on to our website www.rockcityfmradio.com/live. Thank you very much for listening. I am Chienye. Good afternoon.